I bring into camera view the door sensor, and if you see if it's opened, both the devices turn off. As they close, both of them turn on. So how useful is this? This is without doing any additional electrical. Hi guys, today we're unboxing and setting up a smart underfloor heating controller. So details are in the description below, including purchasing links. So this particular controller works with Smart Life and Tuya. And the advantage of that, it can link in with loads of smart tech, and you can do smart automation with it, which I'll show. Also can work with Google Home and the Amazon Alexa devices. So let's open it up and see what you get in the packaging. Okay, so you know the routine. I've laid out all the items you get in the packaging, so let me briefly go through them. You get a user guide, which is all in English. You get 2 screws for installation. Then we've got a temperature sensor cable, 3 meters in length, and the quality of the cable feels good. And now the thermostat. So it has a plastic cover on there, protecting it. And looking over here, 3 buttons. You've got a mode on-off button, increase, decrease temperature. You've got a display just over here, matte finish on the buttons. It's slightly off-white. Looking around the side, you've got vents along the side here, vents on the other side, nothing on the top. You've got a sensor over here, so that's for room temperature sensing. And you've got a point where you can put your screwdriver in to take this off. So in terms of thickness, bringing in my ruler, you can see it's about 3 centimeters thick. So in the instructions, they recommend using a back box, which is a minimum of 35 millimeters. General construction of it feels good, and the feel of the buttons and the noise from it feels fine. Just to look at the back there, you can see the connection point. So sensor gets connected there. You've got the live and neutral connection terminals there, and the terminals over here for the underfloor heating mat. General build of it does feel good. I've done a budget one previously, and I have to say the build quality of this does feel much better. And to remove the plate off so you can install it, obviously you can't see any screw holes here. If you get a screwdriver, place it at the bottom, just clips off. If I lift it off, this is what that reveals. So pin connectors there connect to the module here, and this is the end that will be connected on your walls. Obviously the wires go in there, and then you screw this on. I'll show that being installed. Then once you've installed it, you can just clip this back into position, and it's as simple as that. Now I'm at my existing underfloor heating controller, which is here, and it should be a straight replacement with the new one here. Now in terms of turning this off, so make sure it's fully isolated so there's no power going into it before you work on it. And like I've said in other videos, if you're not sure about electrics, just get an electrician in. Should be an easy replacement, but if you don't feel confident, don't attempt this. It's not worth the risk if you don't know what you're doing. So let me isolate this off, pull it off, and show the connections on there. And you can see for yourself how you'd connect it up to the new controller. Now I've taken the initial controller off, wasn't too sure how to remove it. Actually looked back at the video I did on installing this one. It was just 2 clips at the top, pushed them down and it popped off to reveal the screws holding the plate into position. Now if I bend that down, just to show the connections on there. So you've got the sensor coming in here, you've got the power into this bit, and then you've got the underfloor heating just going over here. So looking at the new controller, 9 and 10 is where the sensor goes. You've got the power going into 6 and 7, and the underfloor heating going on 5 and 8. So let me remove the cables from here and retrofit it all on. I'm not going to change the sensor on here. This sensor, my existing one, should be sufficient for use with this. Wires are all connected now, as you can see, and just ensure they are screwed in nice and tight so they don't come out. The only thing I need to reconnect is the earth wire just over there onto the back box. Okay, so the plate's on now, and it's just a matter of ensuring you put it the right way around. You can just confirm the pins are over here and the connector's just there on there, and it's just a matter of hooking it on and then pushing it on into place. And there you go. Simple as that to replace. Now we can take the cover off it. The device is installed now, so let's power it up. This is what we're initially presented with, so you can see for yourself the buttons down below, they're illuminated blue. And obviously with the 3 buttons, these are the controls you have. So with the M, it's a mode button. So if I click it, you can flip between the home mode and the away mode. So this is a situation when you're home and you just want it to leave it on, you just put it into home, and the target temperature there, it will try and get to that. And you can change the temperature obviously using the arrows here. And then if I flip over to away, the away temperature is 15. And again, you can amend that as well using the controls here. Now, if I go into home mode, and you can see there when the temperature is trying to reach a certain value, it's flashing away, and you can see an arrow going there. And then up here, you can see a flame on, meaning the temperature's on, and it's trying to get to the target temperature that's here. And now it stopped flashing, and that's the temperature it's going to try and reach now. So it will continue running. When it reaches that temperature, then obviously the heating will turn off like any standard thermostat. So without any app installation, it works fine, no issues there. So let's make a start at setting up this device. So looking in the instructions, it says there's an app called MiMonitor, so MiMonitor. But this device is a Tuya based device. So Tuya app will work, and even Smart Life. So really big positive for myself regarding that, because I use Smart Life quite heavily in my home. So now coming over to my Android device, if I click on the Play Store, there's a Smart Life app. And if you haven't got it installed, obviously install it. You'll be asked to sign up an account. And then if I start it up now, this is what you'll be presented with, minus obviously the devices if you haven't been using Smart Life. So obviously I've got quite a few devices here just to show. Now to get this device added in, if I click the plus here, go to small home appliances, scroll down, and it's this one here, thermostat Wi-Fi. So now we're being asked to enter in our Wi-Fi details. Mine's already in there because I've used the app multiple times. If I click next now we need to get the device into pairing mode. All that is just pressing the button here and holding on to it. And if you watch the display, there you go, it's flashing away with a Wi-Fi indication, and the LED here is flashing as well. So if I now confirm it's flashing next to that, and now it's going to attempt to add it in. So let's give it a moment. There you go, it's added in successfully. And now if we click done to that, it's gone straight into the device settings here. So if I come back from here, this is how it's presented. Small icon showing the device, and there's a power button here. If I click on that, turns it off, press it again, turns it on. Clicking down here on the arrow, you can see there's another shortcut for power coming back from there. And now if we go into the device, this is what you're presented with. So first of all, let's look at the settings over here in the corner. And this is where you can rename the device. Then you've got device information, and this will have details like the IP address for the device. Tap to run an automation. So this is where the device is far more advanced than a standard underfloor heating controller. You can actually create your own smart scenes, as they call them on this, to allow you to do smart things with this. So for instance, if you had a door window sensor fitted on your door and window in the room where the underfloor heating is installed, if someone opened the door, you could actually get the underfloor heating just automatically turning off. Same with the window as well. If the window was open, you could get it turning off. So you're not unnecessarily heating up the floor. You can also link it up with other smart tech. So for instance, if you had a smart wall switch, you could actually get it controlling separately. So if you had multiple devices, you could control it off that switch. Then you've got third-party control. So you've got the Amazon and Google devices in there. Also shows IFTTT coming along. They're the other devices it can work with. Then going below that, you've got offline notifications. So if the device does go offline from your network, you'll be notified for that. Then you can share the device with other people, like friends and family, create a group. So this is where you can group multiple devices together and control them at the same time. Quite useful if you had underfloor heating on multiple floors. So you could have one for the ground floor, for instance, and control it via a single grouping. Then you've got FAQ and feedback, add to home screen, check device network, device update, that's if there's any firmware updates for it, and then finally remove device. Back from here. Now looking at the interface, first of all, you've got indoor temperature at the top there. So it's showing 22 degrees. Then you've got manual there. And if I click on there or move around, nothing happens. So there's no controls on this area, just shows the temperature and the mode it's in. Now looking down below, this is where you can change the temperature. If I just press it, you can see it changes the one on the controller straight away, which is nice. Then you've got a lock option. So if I enable that, and now if I come over to the control, you can see I can't take it out of the mode, and I can't change the temperature either. So quite nice to lock it. So you don't, if you had young kids and they're messing around with things, this will stop them from doing that. If I unlock it now, you can see that's working again. Now coming over to the 4 blocks here, this is where you've got the different modes available. So with home, it sets the heating temperature to 22 degrees by default. So if I click on that, you can see it's gone to 22. Next one we've got is away, and this sets the heating to 15 degrees, just to show. Then you've got smart, and this is where it will use the schedule, which I'll show in a moment. So you can have a timer where it comes on at certain times. And then you've got sleep, and this is where it sets the temperature to 18 degrees. There you go. Now looking next to that, then you've got a power button. So if I click on that, you can see the device is turned off now, and on the interface, nothing is working. You just got to press the power again to get it on again. And then you've got settings, so clicking on there, sensor, and it's currently set to external. Now if I come into that, these are the different sensor settings. So internal, that will be your internal room temperature, and that will be using the sensor which is just below the controller there. Then you've got external, and that will be using the cable sensor, which will be going underneath your flooring. And then finally you've got internal and external. This is where it uses a combination of both. I think it probably makes more sense probably just to use the external one, only because then you can get the floor to a certain temperature. Back from there, then you've got temperature calibration adjustment, currently on 0. And this allows the temperature sensor to be calibrated with the app. So the internal temperature sensor is accurate to less than 1 degree. However, if you're using a third-party sensor, it might not be that accurate. So this manually lets you calibrate that. So the difference in there. Back from here, then you've got swing. And this is also referred to sometimes as differential. And it's the amount in degrees the thermostat will allow the temperature to deviate from the set point before the heating's turned on. By default, it's set to 2 degrees. And you can see there, they're the other values you've got. So maximum is 9, minimum is 2. Next, we've got program. So coming into here, this is where you've got your schedule here and the timing for it. So if you look on here, these are the values that will change to what the mode is. So you can see here by default, Monday to Friday, the temperature here for wake is 20 degrees, away is 15, home is 21, and sleep is 18. And you can just go in there and change these values. Now, once it's set there, obviously, if you change it on the first part I showed you, that's the value that will be used when you've gone into those modes. So you've got a Monday to Friday mode here, Saturday temperature setting, and Sunday temperature setting as well. So good amount of granularity here. If I come back from here now, back again, and that's all the options you have available in the device. So good amount of functionality here. Next thing to show is remote connectivity. So if I drop this down, turn off my Wi-Fi, come back, you can see it's connected to 4G now. And if I now press the power button, there you go, turns off. So you can remotely control this device as well. And what you notice, as I've added the device, I haven't had to do anything more on this. So in terms of opening any ports, this is sort of standard functionality for Smart Life and Tuya devices, and really most smart devices. You don't have to do any messing around on your router in any way. And the advantage of this is if you're away from home, say you're traveling and you're coming back and you wanted the heating to be on when you come back, so you can turn it on remotely. So if I turn it on now, go into there, and I'll just increase the temperature up. And you can see remotely I've connected this. So you can do this anywhere in the world. So next, just to show how to get the device set up for voice control. So with both the Google Home and the Amazon devices. So I've got the apps installed on my phone. If I go to the home one first, and to add this in, very easy, click on the plus, set up device, works with Google. And the service we want to link into is Smart Life, just over here. So when you select it, you'll be asked for your credentials that you use for your app. Enter them in, and then it will link into the service. So now coming back from here, scrolling down, you can see it there, floor heating thermostat. And if I click on it, you've got the ability to change the temperature. So if I change it here, there you go. Slightly off, you can see, I don't think it does the half, so it rounds it up to the closest value. So now if I go to 4, clicking down here, indoor does nothing. You've got the frost sort of logo here, that does nothing either. And then clicking here, you can rename the device. Voice controls available. So if I say, turn off floor heating thermostat.
Sure, Turning off the floor heating thermostat.
Turn on floor heating thermostat.
Got it. Turning the floor heating thermostat on.
Change floor heating thermostat to 19 degrees.
Got it. Setting the floor heating thermostat to 19 degrees.
There you go, as simple as that to get working with Google Home. Next, to show how to get the voice control functionality working on the Amazon device. So going onto the Amazon app, clicking on More, Skills and Games, and if we search for Smart Life, there it is. If I select it, mine's currently enabled, but if yours isn't, select it, you'll be asked for your credentials again, and that will enable that skill. Now coming over to devices, scrolling across, you've got thermostats, and there you go, floor heating thermostat. So if I click that, it's a shortcut to turn it off, turn it on. Going in there, similar thing again, you can change the temperature. It would round it up if you've gone for the half. Shows your current temperature, and then coming into settings, you can rename it here, coming back from there, and you can create routines with this as well. There you go, simple as that to get working with the Amazon device. Now in terms of differences between the Google side and the Amazon side, interestingly enough, the Amazon has the on-off button on here, but coming on to the Google side of things, there's no on-off button here. So if I click around, there's nothing there, and even on here, there's no off and on button. So in terms of functionality, Amazon has a little bit more in there. Now I've added a second thermostat. Now going in there, if I click over here in the corner, create group, select the one in my kitchen, click save, and we call this group ground floor heating group. Save to that, and that's how it appears. Now coming back, you can turn off both the devices. There you go, you can see for yourself they're both turned off. Turning them both on at the same time. Going in there, setting a temperature now, so I can take the temperature up. You can see here, I've now set both of them to 21 at the same time. You can lock both of them at the same time. You can set the mode from here as well. And coming on to settings, same thing here. You can have a play about with those to get them working at the same time. So pretty cool functionality. You're not limited to just having one additional one. I don't know what the limit is in Smart Life on Tuya with this. In terms of grouping other devices, I've never come across a limit so far. So if you do know, drop me a comment. Be interesting to know if there is a limit with this. Now in terms of smart functionality, just to show, I've got a door window sensor just over here, and I've already got it added into my Smart Life app. So if I go to Smart, come on to Automation, click on the add, and what I can do here, if I select when device status changes, door sensor, switch, and it's opened, so meaning a door's been opened or a window's been opened, run the device. We're going to go for the heating group. We're going to say we're going to turn all the power off on there. Next to that, let me go back in one more time just to show the other options you have available. So you've got target temperature, you've got mode here, lock as well, sensor type, temperature calibration adjustment, and swing, and that's for the group. Coming into thermostat directly, same options again. Now coming back again, we can just save this, start using it. Let's add another one. So clicking on the plus, when device status changes, door sensor, switch, close. So this is where the window's closed or the door's closed. Run the device, select the group, and the power's turned back on. So you're not limited obviously just to do the power. You can change the mode as well. Next to that, save on that, start using it. So you can see here, both the automations are active now. I can disable them by clicking this, but we'll enable them. And now if I bring into camera view the door sensor, and if you see if it's opened, both the devices turn off. As they close, both of them turn on. So how useful is this? This is without doing any additional electrical work. This is all to do with smart scenes. You can create your own to do all sorts of things, even doing it on the weather. If the weather reaches a certain temperature, just automatically turn it on. So lots of possibilities here, and takes these sort of devices to the next level with all this smart functionality available on there. Okay, so you've seen the unboxing and setup of this Wi-Fi thermostat. Really good build quality to it, simple to set up, and the big winner for me is the fact it works with Smart Life and the Tuya platforms. So it integrates really well with the other smart tech I have in my home, and I don't have to use anything like IFTTT to integrate it with other products. Remote connectivity is available, as you've seen, and you can also voice control it as well, which is excellent. I did previously review a budget thermostat and that was okay. Build quality was reasonable, but in comparison to this just blows that one away. So there you go. I hope it's helped anyone thinking of purchasing this. Details are in the description below, including purchasing links. Hang around for the end cards. I'll have some more smart tech. Drop me a like if you liked this video and let me know what you thought of this controller. Thanks for viewing and see you in the next one.